Hello, my name is Max Flyman, and welcome to the 4th devlog of my game, Genocidal Dopamine. If you haven't seen the first few devlogs, then I'd recommend you go watch them. Anyway, in the last one I added enemy AI, and I teased that I would add sound effects and music in this episode. Well, I ended up doing a lot more than that. However, I will dedicate this episode to just talking about two things: the music and the enemy hitboxes. Firstly, the music. So I wanted my music in my game to be breakcore, sort of like however a little bit more spacey and trippy. I wanted to take a lot of inspiration from artists like Suicide and even in some ways Gore shit. Yes, I know, great artist names to take inspo from. Anyway, the first song I had made was Sentient Life, which I will use, at least for now, as the main menu music. Again, I wanted sort of a spacey vibe, so I added this ethereal bassy synth. Then I added this absolutely f***ing insane bass line. I brought in some punchy drums and added classic breakcore acoustic loops. And later on I even brought in some amen breaks and vocal chops, and I think it came together pretty well. However, then, after that, I had to take a complete 180 and make music for my tutorial level, which takes place in heaven. Impatience is what I called it. I wanted it to sound like elevator music, which I later learned is a genre called bossa nova. I started with this nice, smooth piano with very basic ninth notes. I then added like the most basic, simple drum loop ever. And once I added a funky bass, it started really coming together. But something was missing. That's right, a meow synth. Oh hell yeah. And that was pretty much it, music-wise. I haven't made any more tracks since then. Now I wanted to move aside and talk about enemy collisions. Before, all I had was one collision layer for Skelica, the one created from the Ragdoll wizard in Unity. However, this kind of sucked. First off, there were gaps made by it, which is fine for Ragdoll physics, but that means you could shoot through Skelica. Another issue was that animations could push the player around and act really janky. So I eventually came up with a solution. Have 3 collision layers for my enemy. One that detects shot bones, one that collides with the player, and one that collides as a ragdoll. The one that detects shot bones are just the ragdoll bones scaled up, and the one that collides with the player is just a basic capsule. I found this to work really well, and yeah, I don't really have much more to say in this devlog. Again, I did so much since my last one, I'm gonna make like 3 just to talk about all my changes. So that means that this is the end of this devlog. If you want to stay updated on the progress, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next devlog where I finally add player health. Goodbye.